Aloha, everyone. Welcome to Activate and Elevate with Sheila and Jan. And we are so happy to be in this first week of July with everybody here. Thank you for joining us for our very super special call. I am super excited to have our guest today. But before I go into that, I'm going to actually let Jan take over and let her go into it. So, Miss Jan, welcome. How are you, my beautiful friend?
I am wonderful. Good morning, everybody. And I just want to tell you, I'm so excited to have Ron Raybum with us today. It just shows you how, sometimes you think, oh, what can one person do? One person can change a whole lot of lives. If Ron hadn't said yes, we all wouldn't be here today. So Ron is the very top of our line of sponsorship. He brought in Kathy, Onyx, Marcy, Mariah, and then me, and that has spread out to everybody. If you were at convention last year, you got to see Ron on stage. He's the most humble guy. He's got the best arms I've ever seen in my life. So if you ever get to meet him, feel his arm. He won't mind. I hope you don't mind.
Oh, brother.
He's got great arms. And being a massage therapist, I just appreciate great bodies. But anyways, so I'm going to turn it back to Sheila and let her do what she does best. And just hold on to your seats because this guy is great.
Well, and Ron, I have to tell you, when I got to meet you in the hall, and Jan and I were together with a couple of other ladies, and I remember her squeezing your arms and saying, "Oh my gosh." So thanks for joining us, Ron, and for being the catalyst that literally changed everybody on this call's life. And I would just love to hear every bit of golden nuggets that you have that you're willing to share with us today.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
I'm sitting in my diesel truck. I turned the air conditioner on. Is it too much background noise? Can you hear me?
No, we hear you just fine, Ron.
Okay. First of all, boy, you guys embarrass me. But anyway, listen, boy, you're right, and it wasn't me, you guys. It was, me answering that phone call in June, and I'll get into that here in a minute, and being able to see a vision and an opportunity that I thought would, literally change the world. And, that's why I said, yes, and I jumped on board. And, it's amazing, like you said, how one person can change the lives of so many people. I have 125,000 people in my group now. That's a lot of people that lives have been changed. And my goal is, we're a team. It's not me. It's not Marcy. It's not, David. It's all of us. Yeah, we all played our parts and stuff. But, network marketing is, it's people networking, right? And working together. And I'm really honored to be able to be on this call. I know you guys have been trying to get me for a couple of years, or at least since last year. I'm not easy to get. I don't do a lot of public speaking. Last year at the convention, I think, was my first time. I do get on quite a few Zoom calls and stuff like this, but I kind of like to think of it like I just do cameo or, show-ups and stuff, every so often, and kind of like, like the rock stars and stuff. That way, when you show up, everybody wants to come, right?
That's exactly right.
I don't want to wear myself out, but boy, we've come a long way. And I want to read something that I posted on my group page, Stem Cells Forever Young, that I opened up about 3 years ago, probably about a month after I got on board, because everything was taking off so fast for me. And so I had to figure out a way to reach my team and stuff. So I was getting up every morning and I was texting people, and, I don't have a computer, so texting people, and that was taking a long time. So I realized Facebook had group pages you could start. So that's why I started, and I share a lot of stuff on there. I write most of my own stuff, and I'm really abreast with corporates. I'm able to get stuff out on a daily basis so people can, be educated and help them maybe move up to where they want to be a little bit quicker. But I want to read this real quick. I wrote this probably, and I posted it on my group page on the 28th of June, and I sent it to David Schmidt. Here we go. And then this will set the platform, and I'll get into, talking about what I want to talk about. On this day, 4 years ago, June 28, 2019, my life changed forever. I received that famous call that asked if I had heard about X39. I was asked to watch a short 3-minute video. Well, the rest is history. My life did a 180. I'm so grateful to be part of such an amazing company, Lifewave. I'm grateful for the amazing health benefits I received. I'm also grateful for the amazing financial freedom I have today. Thank you, David Schmidt, for your wonderful mind and love to want to make this world a better place. Thank you, X39, for being all that you are. Thanks to all the people that stood by me and listened as I shared about the X39 stem cell activation patch. Thank you, Jesus, for bringing this wonderful, life-changing breakthrough technology across my path and giving me the patience and open mind to understand what was possible. It's been a wonderful ride. This is just the beginning of this X39 journey. All I ask that you give is X39 a chance and help me also try to change the world and make it a better, healthier place to live. We can all make a difference. Together we'll succeed. I love you all to the moon. Have a wonderful day, friends. Ron Raybum, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, 4 years went by really quick, you guys. I just can't believe it. I haven't stopped since I answered that phone call that day. It seems like I worked 24 hours a day, but it's not really work, right? And yeah, I'm a chimney sweep by trade, and I have a full-time chimney sweep business. I'm going into my 39th year. People want to know why I still do chimneys. I only make $100,000 a year, busting my fanny, climbing 40-foot ladders, taking my life in my hands. But out here where I live, people use a lot of fireplaces, and the leading cause of residential fires in the United States are wood-burning systems in homes. In my town, probably 10 people a year burn up or die. So I'm really good at what I do as far as that goes, and there's not anybody else really out here. So I had decided that when I got on board with Lifewave and X39, that I said a prayer, and I told God that I would not quit my chimney sweep business until I felt Him nudging me to quit, or I physically couldn't do it. Well, if you remember my testimony, I had 13 things wrong with me, no diseases, but things, from being an avid backpacker most of my life since I was 13, hiked a lot of the 40-mile passes in the Sierra, climbed Mount Shasta 3 times with ice axes and crampons 15,000 feet. I ran 6 miles a day, 6 days a week, worked out with weights my whole life, and climbed 50,000 chimneys. So, I was torn up. But X39, helped to keep my body to resonate and heal all that. So I wasn't quitting the chimney sweep business because of health issues or not being able to do something. So, but just for everybody's information, I do feel, God nudging me. And I think this next year and a half or so, I'll probably, get out of the chimney sweep business and, continue to do what I'm doing with Lifewave. It's kind of funny, I make a lot more money with Lifewave business than I do with my chimney business, but I still call my chimney business my full-time business, and Lifewave my fun part-time hobby business. That's what it feels like to me. It's so fun. It's so easy, to be able to have such a phenomenal product like, X39 and be able to share that with everybody. It's so simple. I mean, I'm probably the simplest one in all of us in Lifewave. I mean, I'm just a country hippie chimney sweep, with a ponytail and a mustache. People tell me that, I still look like I did 4 years ago before I ended up, being blessed with health and financial freedom. I still wear my camouflage pants I have on today. I just jumped off a chimney 15 minutes ago, running to the truck to try to get in it so I wouldn't be late for you guys. But I still drive my old 2004 chimney sweep van with a bent bumper, and I'm real frugal. I do invest my money a lot. I bought some property, bought a little ranch this last year up in Columbia, California, 18 acres. It's a beautiful place. I live there half the time, and half the time an hour and a half away from my Modesto house. And all of that would not have been possible if it hadn't been for X39, helping me physically and financially. So with all that said, I want to, jump in a little bit with my story and what happened on that incredible day in the summer of 2019. And you're going to have to bear with me because I get emotional and I might shed a tear or something because I'm so grateful. I still cannot believe what's happened. I cannot believe hearing all your guys' stories and testimonies all the time. I follow, all the groups and stuff, and I'm just so grateful. And I'm so humble. That's why it's really hard to get me on calls and stuff because I don't like attention drawn to me. It's all of us, When I go to conventions and stuff, I try to hide, but that never works. But anyway, it's all of us. I see us as a team, It doesn't matter if you guys aren't on my team. I help a lot of people around the world that aren't even on my team that I just absorb. They need help, maybe their sponsor isn't, there for them. And I just take them in because I look at it like this. We're all on the same team. The mothership, which is Lifewave, if you want to look at it like that, we're on that team, and so we all might be certain little cells or little ships out there, but we all are all together to try to help David, achieve his dream and his mission. And he's got a wonderful heart, for the people, and I used to wonder, I'll share this before I tell my testimony, but I used to, they always say, what's your why? Well, my why, when I heard about X39, now I'm not a network marketer. I'm a chimney sweep, but I know, I guess I'm a salesman because I've had to sell 50,000 chimney jobs. So I was able to resonate with that, and I saw an opportunity. But when I had heard about this, I talked to my sponsor, and he had told me that, I watched the video, and I remember it was about a week into it. He wanted to know. He goes, what do you want to see yourself making in this business? I hadn't really even thought about that because my why. Because what happened to me, and I'll share it in a minute. Those 13 things that were wrong with me. How I started right away in a minute, 30 seconds having results. That's what my why was. My why wasn't about seeing how much money I could make. And you know what? My why still has not changed. God's blessed me gratefully with, financial freedom. But my why is, that's why I'm doing this call today. My why is wanting to reach out to, the 8 billion people on the planet with all of your guys' help. I personally signed up 200 people, which I don't think is nothing. Some of my leaders say, oh, that's a lot. Well, to me, 200 isn't nothing. My goal is to, within a couple of years or less, have 1,000 people personally sponsored. Because several things is I want to be able to reach the multitudes of people and not depend on all my group to do it. I'm still working, and I want to do that. And also, I believe that, I'm going to share it like it's a pellet stove and a fireplace. If you don't continue to fill the hopper up with those old rabbit pellets that burn, then, every 3 days you got to fill it up, then, you're not going to have any heat or fire after about 2 or 3 days, right? So the same thing I see with network marketing with this industry that we're in, Lifewave, we all know, people die, people disappear, people get inactive. And so you always want to have new blood, so to speak, coming in. So you want to get new people. And then plus, I still get so excited the first time I'm able to introduce this to somebody and actually give them a sample and stuff and start hearing results and start working with them. That still never ceases to excite me. And trust me, I've heard 1,000 testimonies or more. And just when I think I've heard the ultimate testimony, it seems like here comes one out of nowhere that just blows it out of the water. So when I first got into this, I had told, my upline within probably about 3 weeks, I said, we're going to be guinea pigs, because I was only 6 months on board, because X39 came on board January 1st, 2019. That was June 28, 2019, so 6 months. So not very many people had heard about it. And the longest somebody had even worn X39, except for maybe David experimenting, was 6 months. So I saw outside of the box, and I saw down the road that the longer we were able to wear this, we were going to see more stuff happen. Well, after 4 years, I still see stuff happening to me with my body and stuff, things getting better, So I wasn't able to work out for 10 years, you know, and I'd worked out my whole life since I was 14. I was a maniac, but I had injuries, you know, and wanted to do surgery on my wrist. So I'll share that in a minute. But, you know, after about a year, it took that long for some of the stuff, you know. Some of the stuff kind of cleared up quickly, but, you know, I didn't have that stuff happen to me overnight. It took a lifetime of abuse on my body to get it there. So how could I expect it to be a miracle patch? You know, it is a miracle patch, but, you know, and it does wonders. But anyway, so let me start my story. Boy, that was a long introduction. But anyway, I got that phone call in the summer of 2019, June 28th. And then the voice on the phone said, you know, have you heard about X39? And I hesitated for a minute, you know, and then I came back and I said, is that like Area 51 where the flying saucers landed? You know, I didn't know. X39, Area 51. So I'm a science guy. I got A pluses on my report card all through high school in science, not so much the other grades, but so we still laugh about that today. And so I watched that video and that changed my life. Now, that 3-minute, 27-second video, however long it is, that's our most valuable tool that we have. That does 75% of our workforce, you know, and I watch it all the time. I still can't figure out how they get so much knowledge crammed into 3 minutes and 27 seconds, you know, but I'm glad we have it. That's what I lead with, you know, and that's all I use. You know, I don't over information people, and I keep it really simple, you know. So anyway, so I ended up, I didn't even get a sample, I don't think, but I ordered my stuff right away. I knew that I wanted to be part of this great opportunity, and I saw a vision of, you know, being able, if it's what it said it was, to be able to help people, but more so it was about myself. So I'd asked my sponsor, I said, so what's your biggest business building packages? I wasn't a network marketer, but I knew network marketing had business building packages. He hesitated and hemmed, and I said, just tell me what it is. I want to know what the top package is. Well, he said it was the X39 Diamond package, you know, for only $15.99. Well, that sounded reasonable to me. He told me I got, we ended up with 19 sleeves, and so the price, and I think you'd mentioned it to me, it was $99, and I was pretty quick, and I said, well, that's like $85. So I was excited. I thought I was getting a bargain. I was, right? You know,
Right.
So my thinking is that, am I talking too fast for you guys?
No, you're perfect.
You're
We want to know what video that you send out.
I just send out the 3-minute video, the X39 that talks about, X39, the one that you guys probably use also, right?
right. Is it the one that talks about what light and aging and then I think that's the one you're talking about, right?
Yes, and I can send it to you, but I'm sure we all use pretty much the same one. It's just a 3-minute one. But anyway,
Okay.
So I decided that I wanted that diamond package, and it was kind of funny. The reason I really wanted it, you guys, was I thought, well, okay, if this is what it says it is, I want to get enough product for me for, 9 or 10 months. I wanted to hoard it in case the company went out of business or something, right? That was my thinking. It wasn't about really doing a network marketing business because I didn't do that. But anyway, so I went ahead and decided that's what I wanted. And my sponsor was convinced that, okay, let's do it. And he's thinking this is going to be an easy sale. Well, little did he know that, it was the summer of 2019, 110 degrees in California. I'm not cleaning very many chimneys right then, right? So I was broke. I wasn't really poor, but I was broke. I was living from one chimney job a week to another. But I was used to that. I'd done that, for 36 years or whatever. And but anyway, so I went ahead and got my debit card for my business, and I didn't have enough money in there. It wouldn't work. So I went ahead and took my personal account and put it on there, and it didn't work. So then I thought I'd try to put them both together, see if I could do it like that, and it still didn't work. I didn't have enough money, so I went ahead and I had one credit card, and it was really important for me to get this this technology. So I hadn't used my credit card. I only had one. So I got it. I went ahead and put it on there, and I got my package in about 3 or 4 days. I remember it came pretty quick. So I'm in Modesto, California, and San Diego is where we ship out of. So I ended up I got my box that evening. The mail came. I jumped on my chimney sweep van the next morning, and I put the box on, the whole box. I hadn't even opened it yet. And but I was excited. I wanted to, in between chimney jobs, I wanted to look at it, study it, and try the product and stuff. So I went ahead. I started my van that morning the same way I started it for a year. I couldn't use my right hand, and the ignition was on the column on the right. So on that chimney sweep commercial van I have, there's only 2 seats, bucket seats. In the middle, there's a big space. So I had learned if I leaned down with my elbow and, kind of like put it on the floor, and I could reach up upside down, twist it, and I could grab that key and turn it with my left hand and start it. Well, I had 13 things wrong with me. My biggest problem was my right wrist. I don't go to the doctor. I'd actually stitched myself up before, set broken bones. I'm not one to go to a doctor. If I can't fix it myself, I don't do it. But I knew I had a big problem there. I couldn't even go to church. I'd shake old ladies' hands, and they dropped me to my knees. My left arm was getting bigger than my right arm. I couldn't work out with weights anymore. And I was just like, that I don't know what that arm was going to be used for, but it hurt all the time. And the pain was an 8, and at nighttime it was a 10, and I could never figure that out. Why am I in bed and it's a 10? But I don't take medicine and stuff, so I just toughed through it. But I went to the doctor, and the doctor, an orthopedic, and he said, oh, yeah, we see that a lot. It's this thing, that thing. It's a repetitious thing from cleaning, your trade. I cleaned 50,000 chimneys, and 5-pound sledgehammers breaking bricks and chimneys apart. It damaged that joint in there where the wrist meets the arm, and it was really bad. It was smashing nerves, and I did damage in there. And he said, he's holding my hand, and he said, yeah, we could fix that. And had some fancy name for it. I don't remember what it was, but he said we could fix that. And he's holding my hand, and he grabs where that bump is on the outside. He goes past it up my arm a little bit. He says, while he's pointing, he says, well, we're going to go ahead and we can cut that bone right there, and we'll cut it in half. When he said that, my eyes got the size of silver dollars, because I'd never had surgery or ever been in the hospital, and he's talking about cutting my bone in half. Well, that didn't sound very good to me. So I went ahead, and I was trying to get my hand out, and he was squeezing it harder. And he said, no, we're going to go back a little further, and we're going to cut it again and take a little piece out. And then we're going to, he said, we're going to glue it back together, and we're going to put some screws in it, the plate, and you'll be good to go. Well, I was, because the door was still cracked open. I managed to get my hand out of his hand, and I was running down the hall. I didn't want nothing to do with that nonsense, I didn't know what I was going to do, and I prayed a lot. It was kind of funny. On the 13th of, it was 13 days before I heard that call and got introduced to X39. I posted on my personal page, I believe in faith, the law of attraction. I just posted something to the effect that I am happy, healthy, prosperous, and put that on my page, and I had a bunch of happy faces and stuff. I was denying what I was seeing. I was stepping out and using my faith in the law of attraction or whatever. And so then 13 days later from that day, then I got that call. So it's amazing how your mind can change everything. So I'm thinking after I did that, I laughed, because it came up in my memories a little while ago, a month ago, and I saw it. And I'm thinking, wow, my thought pattern that day when I was facing, the worst scenario, not being able to use my arm or have to get it cut in half and have screws and glue put in it, to not looking what was looking at me in the face with, and being poor and broke and all that stuff. I decided that I was going to, just exercise my faith. But it's kind of funny. By doing that day with my mind, look at all everybody's lives I changed. So I guess you better watch out. I have the power to change all your lives. But it makes me laugh, because our mind is strong, and, what we think, is what really happens. I don't really know how it works. It goes flying out into the universe and flies back, and, and that's what you get, God wants us to practice faith and stuff. But anyway, so that was, so I'm in the van, and I had to start the vehicle. You guys know what happened to my wrist. I didn't have the surgery. And so I started driving, but before I started driving, I took a patch out, opened the box and took a patch out. I don't read directions of anything at all right away. and I just stuck a patch on my right wrist, right? That's where the pain was, you know, it was a pain, it was a frequency patch, so I didn't know. Well, lo and behold, within a minute and 30 seconds, I'm driving with my left hand, a pain on my right wrist went from an 8 to a 2 really quick. I'm real sensitive to anything that happens or enters my body, you know. I don't drink, smoke, or do drugs, and I take care of myself, and I don't even take an aspirin, so I could tell real quick that something was going on, and I grabbed the steering wheel for the first time and squeezed it with my right wrist the first time in a year, and I'm like driving, and I'm like looking at my wrist, looking at the box, and I'm looking at the road, trying not to get in a wreck, and I'm like, this is like great and stuff. So, but after 15 minutes, I had to pull over, you guys. I had so much going on with me that I couldn't even drive. It might sound kind of funny. It still does to me. But, you know, it seemed like the sky got 10 times bluer and the leaves on the trees got, you know, 10 times greener. And so I went ahead and pulled over because I was trying to figure out what was going on. And it seemed like I was more focused, you know. I was wearing reading glasses and stuff, you know. I put them on, and it seemed like I could see a little better without them. So all that stuff happened to me really quick. Something else happened to me that day that I wasn't expecting. I had more energy than I normally do. And I'm like hot grease on a skillet anyway. I got a lot of energy. I didn't need no more energy. And but I had more energy. I went to bed that night, and I slept better than I had in like 3 decades. And I slept good anyway. So that next morning, I woke up and I decided that I needed to share this with people. You know, I wasn't really thinking about a business, but I decided I need to share this with people. So I went ahead. Remember, I didn't know any network marketers, but I knew a lot of people, and I just started texting people and reaching out to them, you know, or maybe calling them or even going by their house. And I just kept it real simple. I said, hey, have you heard about X39? It's changed my life. Watch this short video and get back to me. Well, lo and behold, my phone and my social media started blowing up, and I ended up selling 11 diamonds my first month and about 15 or 20 golds and silvers. Well, a good thing for me, and I still didn't understand what a binary and the leg stuff was, but that month that I had signed up, or right shortly, because June 28th, well, in July of that year, they had that bonus where if you sold a diamond, you were a diamond, you got an extra like $300. So I was getting $800 a pop. The first girl I signed up, a girl in Montana named Sherry, she ended up signing 10 diamonds up that month. So that's how I resignated to $10,500. Not that I'm making income claims, but that's what happened. You know, people will do more or less, whatever, but that's just part of my story. And so I just started sharing with people, and I realized really quick in the beginning, you guys, that I wanted to just focus on X39. You know, I realized by then they had other patches, but, you know, my personality, I got to know everything about everything, and so I study a lot. You know, at first I decided to try to figure out what this network marketing business was, and see what was going on, because I didn't really know what network marketing was. And I started studying things like Dexter Yeager and Bill Britt, and you know, and realized, you know, A.L. Williams and Amway, and you know, all that stuff, and realized that, you know, okay, this is a pretty cool business and stuff. So I decided that I didn't want to have a bunch of products and open up my trench coat and have a watch and a bunch of patches. All the other patches are phenomenal. They're great. You know, and I do use some of them, but I've never marketed any other patches. I've never put another patch on anybody. I don't train on that. If people are interested down the road, then I'll tell them, you know, I'll educate them after they've got their X39 experience. But so I went ahead, and I'm just, you know, led with that, and that's what I still do today. You know, I keep it super simple. You guys are going to laugh, but you know, I still don't have a computer. I still haven't installed that InTouch app, which is phenomenal. I probably should, but I got my phone, you know, and I always tell people we only need 3 things in this business I figured out, and to make it successful, and we keep it simple. One is we need a phenomenal technology, which we have with X39. You know, we got 20-year patent on it. We got a product that nobody has, and they probably won't for a long time. Then we have that short 3-minute video that I send out. And the third thing, which is the most important thing, I think, so remember, you need 3 things to be successful in this business. You need the X39 stem cell patch, so you can give a sample out. and share it. You need that famous 3-minute video, and you need your mouth. Because if you don't open your mouth, how are you going to be able to share this? So a lot of people, I think, are intimidated to talk about this because they think they need to know a whole lot of stuff. Now, because of my personality, I could probably teach science classes on X39 because I know a lot of stuff about it. But, and I did over-information people a little bit in the beginning, but I learned real quickly, over-information people, you'll lose them. You keep it simple. And then I just want to get them on board. Usually you have a husband and wife you're dealing with. And so it's not practical, I don't think, myself, everybody's different, to have somebody come on board, husband and wife, and, purchase X39 and get some Aeons, glutathione. Well, if you times that by 6 with husband and wife, they could be spending $400 or $500, and it will never work. You'll lose them. So it's not affordable. It's not duplicatable. So I just keep it really simple. And I basically tell people, you guys, is that, come on, let's say if I met you or something and I want you to watch the video, nobody gets a patch unless they watch the video, right? So they watch the video, social media, whatever, phone, whatever, I meet them, whatever, and then I will give them a sample of X39. I only give them one. I don't give them 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, in the very beginning, I tried doing 5 to 6 people for 2 weeks. Well, that cost me $100 for each week, right? Because do the math, 30. So, but nobody was interested. They came back, but we tried it for 5 days, didn't work, we're not interested. Well, I couldn't afford that because that was the summer of 2019 and I was broke, remember? So talking to my sponsor, we decided that we would simplify it more. We remembered that, the clinical trials said that 70% of the people feel something the first day and 30% don't. So, and I started doing that. We started doing that and it started working. I was able to reach 30 people with one sleeve instead of 6 people. And so my odds of reaching more people and being more successful business-wise was a lot more greater, right? So anyway, so after about, I think a few months and stuff, I woke up in bed like someone had shot me. I sat straight up in bed, 2:30 in the morning. I have 5 German Shepherds. They all raised their heads and looked at me like, what's going on? And so I went ahead, had this thought in my head. When you give them a patch, a sample, tell them they might not feel anything. Well, that they didn't make any sense to me. I thought that came from the devil or something, right? Well, that doesn't make sense. Well, I woke up that next morning, you guys, and I still had the same thought in my head, and I started thinking about it, so I started trying it. My phone started blowing up using that technique, and because the 70% of the guys would call me after I told them, in the beginning, and they'd say, you know what, you were right, we felt something, and you said we could get on a, try it, see what's up and stuff. So, but the 30% of the guys always seemed like they were irritated, upset, and mad. Not so much at me, but they were mad because they weren't part of the 70% of the people that felt something. So once I started perfecting that, telling them, here's your sample, whether I mailed it or whatever, you might not feel anything, but the real thing I want you to do is call me the next day after you use it, and I will show you how you get on a minimum of a 90-day supply with 100%, 30-day money-back guaranteed. Well, my phone was blowing up. The guys that were always mad were saying, hey, dude, we didn't feel anything. You were right. But you promised us you'd help us get on that 90-day supply so we could try it with that guarantee. And so out of the 200 people that I have signed up, I've never had anybody return anything. So the odds are pretty good. If I get them for a month, I got them, so that's a little technique I use. I keep it really simple. I ended up, and I'm not bragging at all, I even hate saying this, but I ended up hitting senior presidential director in 16 weeks and 2 days. At the time, that was the fastest that anybody had done it. I still hadn't realized what I had done. I got to convention in Las Vegas. Some of you guys, I think, were there. I know Peter was. I think Marcy was there. I don't know if Jan was there. But,
Yeah, Jan and I
Sheila were both there.
Yeah.
Okay, so you remember that. And,
Yep.
So we got flowers for being SPDs. Remember, we all got on stage, and I was number 35, and I'm thinking, number 35 out of 15 years, I just couldn't figure that out. I'm just a country bumpkin chimney sweep. Why am I here? And then it was kind of funny. I had gone to the back of the room. I never had anybody give me flowers. I was kind of embarrassed to have a dozen flowers. I remember Camilla had handed me the flowers, and there was like 12 roses. Remember, you guys? And so I went back into the back of the room, and I had been talking to a real pretty gal back there. And remember Paula Shaw? You guys remember Paula? You know Paula, right? And okay, so I'm sitting down with her, and and I gave her the flowers and stuff, and she was like, "Wow." I said, "Yeah, I want you to have the flowers." I thought she was really cute, nice, and stuff, right? So then this guy's tapping me on the back of the shoulder. It's like, and I kept ignoring it, and I finally turned around and said, "You know what? Hey, dude, I'm talking to this like really pretty girl, and I don't even know who you are. Can I talk to you in a minute?" And he said, "Well, I think they're calling you." I said, "What do you mean they're calling me? I was just up there because I wasn't paying attention." And he said, "Well, look over at the monitor on the stage." I looked over. There was one name up there. It was my name. Every head in the place was looking at me. It's like, what is going on? And they wanted me to come up for an achievement award. But as I'm walking up there, I'm thinking, because I'm really shy and didn't want to be on the stage in the first place. And so I'm walking up there, and I'm thinking, we didn't talk about this. Nobody told me about this. But, so I went up there. I got my award. And then I reached out and I shook David's hand. When I did that, I probably shouldn't have shook his hand because he put a microphone in my hand. And I knew enough, not being on stage, but I knew if someone puts a microphone in your hand, you got to talk. So that was my first nervous experience, I guess, being on stage. But, it was all worth it. Got us to, be where we're at today. And I'm nobody special. I mean, I tell you guys, if I can do this, just being a country bumpkin hippie chimney sweep from Modesto, California, anybody can do this. You don't need a computer. You don't need a bunch of fancy stuff. You don't need to go to school for a month or 6 weeks or whatever. You got your kit. You got everything you need. You got, the sponsor, hopefully you watch that 3-minute video. You got the technology, X39, and you got your mouth. Nobody's going to come to your house in the middle of the night and knock on your door at 2 o'clock in the morning, and you open the door and say, "Hey, I'm Jan. Do you have any X39? No, they don't do that unless they know you have it, right? They better not come at 2 in the morning. But so we all have a part in this, and I believe that this is just starting. We haven't seen nothing yet, with all the exposure we're getting now, we're all running into more people, I think. I know I am, that when you mentioned it, yeah, I kind of heard about that a little bit. Before, it wasn't like that. And I still think that there's only probably 1/10 of 1% of the population of the 800 billion people that even know about X39. So sometimes people say, well, I missed the boat. We should have went in when you got in. No, it's actually better because when we all came in, Jan and Marcy and Peter, all of us and stuff, a lot of times the network marketing companies like Lifewave, they don't have tools. It's the distributors, the brand partners that come in. And correct me if I'm wrong. We're the ones that invent stuff and do the trainings and stuff. So it took us all that time doing that. And you guys are all like me. We all dug holes in the beginning, buried ourselves, and I pulled myself out. And realized, well, that doesn't work. So sometimes people will get on, a couple of Zoom calls a day. Maybe a webinar or two, and get in the back office and read a bunch of stuff. Now they think they've worked their business for 4 hours. They haven't worked it at all. They just did some training. Every day, you need to go out, like we teach you guys, like, Evolve team does, and, Marcy and everybody, we teach you guys to go out like we do. And I wouldn't have got 200 personally sponsored people if I hadn't reached out, It takes 5 minutes to talk to somebody. I'm at Sprouts a lot and stuff, and so I was in line the other day, and this guy said hi. I'm real talkative, and I'm talking to him, and he wanted to know what I did. And I told him real briefly. He was kind of interested, and 2 minutes had passed. I said, "Give me your cell phone real quick, and I'm going to just text you a short video." Now I did that, and so I did a couple of things there. I got him a video. It took me just a couple of minutes in line before we went to pay, and and I got his phone number, right? And he got the video. So it's really easy to talk to two people. I mean, in this company, I've never seen any products that is so, where people are so open. If I went to Save Mart shopping center, a grocery store, and talked to 10 strangers in a parking lot and just said those, 3 things that I just told you. Have you heard about X39? It's changed my life. I want you to watch a short video. Out of those, because they say in network marketing, so I studied that, 10 no's, 1 yes. Well, I've found out in Lifewave, it's like a lot more. I mean, if I talk to 10 people, I guarantee I pretty much got 5 of them that end up wearing patches and stuff, getting a sample. So it's a really easy business. It's affordable for one thing. And all we got to do is stay active. And that's like nothing because we want to have the product anyway. So it's a blessing that we get to do that. A lot of companies I found out, they make you pay, $200 or $300 a year to have, your website and all that stuff. Well, that website and that back office that we have, if each one of us had to have that designed, boy, it would cost a lot of money, so we're blessed there. We got a phenomenal customer service. We're a little overwhelmed right now because we're having phenomenal growth. The company went from $18 million a year in 2018 to probably about, we're hitting about 34, 35 million a month now. That's a lot of growth in, 4 years. I believe we'll be $1 billion company probably, within 2 years, maybe less, maybe a little more, but we're on our way to do it. And we all need to work together. And I'm so glad that, the teams that, are pulling together now, and we realize that we're one team. We're not segregated. We're not separate teams. We're not Marcy's team. We're not Peter's team. We're not Ron's team. We're not, Michael Acuso's team. We're all one team. We're all in this together. And, we can go to events like, Costa Mesa, which I'm going to go. I'm happy. I loved it last year. And we're going to have people from different teams there. But you know what? We're all going to work together, and it's so fun because we're changing lives. We're changing the world. And, and I believe that in these perilous times that we're going through, really bad, during the COVID time, my business excelled. Actually, both businesses, chimney business, because everybody stayed home looking out the window scared. And then, so they were lighting their fireplaces. Well, what had happened too, because, when COVID first started, people were interested in their health and stuff. I never said I got rid of COVID and stuff, but I was starting to do a little bit better. But what happened, it kind of flipped after a couple of months, you guys. People were losing their jobs, remember? I mean, I had a lot of friends that lost their jobs, businesses closed. Well, they were able to start promoting X39 from their house in their pajamas, put get a card or a postcard and send samples out and, work the phone and social media. So this is totally, I've never seen a home-based business that is literally home-based. You don't have to see the mailman. I got a mail slot at my door, so it's easy. And I believe that, Lifewave is going to be here for a long time. We're getting ready to hit our 20th year real soon. We're having a huge convention in October, and I highly recommend all of you guys go to it, everybody that can, because there's nothing like a Lifewave convention. To be able to rub shoulders with all the wonderful people that feel good, right? Because they're wearing X39, and David puts on a phenomenal show. We got tremendous leaders, and we're just so blessed to be in this industry and be in this time of our life where we can make a difference. We don't have to feel bad like, oh, we're going to die. It's horrible. China's coming or whatever. No, we're stronger than that. We know that we can make a difference. We're going to band together. We're Americans, and we're going to, help David promote his dream that we've been blessed with. And, Lifewave, I didn't find Lifewave. You guys didn't find Lifewave. Lifewave found us. It has an entity of itself, I believe, and so I know I'm jabbering a lot. I do that. So, but I was able to say all of that, you guys, in one breath because of X39. So I'm going to stop.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. You go, Sheila.
Ron, you are an incredibly inspiring, humble human. And I have to tell you, when you read the post that you wrote, I believe on the 28th, you said, of June, yeah. I actually had read that post when you posted it, and had to fight back the tears. I'm a real sensitive girl, and I again today, as you read it, I had to fight back the tears because
Well, as I read that, I have a tendency to cry and lose it for a second. It was really hard for me to read that because I'm so grateful for what God and David and all of you guys. I mean, I couldn't do this without you guys. You can't do this without me. We need each other, and we're just so blessed. And we've met so many I met some of the most wonderful people that I've ever met in my whole life being involved in this business. A lot of you guys are my lifelong friends. If I wasn't in Lifewave, we'd still be seeing each other and sending postcards. So we're so blessed.
oh, blessed, so blessed. And I have a question to ask you, because I just can't tell from your pictures. Please don't think me rude. How old are you?
I'm 60. I'll be 68 actually on August 18th, and I'm 2 years from being 70 years old. I go to because of Lifewave, I'm able to get back into the gym, and I go to the gym 6 nights a week. And at 9 o'clock at night after I work, I got a lot of energy. I go to the store, I buy dinner at 10, I eat 11, and my dogs wake me up at 5:30. I only need about 5.5 hours sleep. I have changed so much as a result of X39 that nobody can do more. The 25-year-olds can't do more pull-ups than me. I'm one of the strongest guys at my gym, and I just can't believe at my age I'm able to, be in the shape that I'm in and make muscle and stuff. And, in 2 years on my 70th birthday, I'm planning on doing a lifelong dream, hiking the Pacific Crest Trail from Mexico to Canada. 2,700 miles, take me 5 months.
Wow.
If anybody wants to bring me food along the way, bring it.
Well, you better have a good.
I can vouch for the nice body because I have felt his arms and it's nice.
At 16, especially, man, I'm impressed. And
Well,
you
also, one
carry
more
your
thing.
with you,
Go
right?
ahead.
5 month
What's that?
trip. You'll have all your patches. You'll have plenty of them with you on a 5-month trip.
Well, absolutely. I'm going to have David's drone dropping stuff in. What are you talking about?
Brilliant. That is brilliant. Oh my gosh. So a couple of people have asked different things, asked me to confirm with you. So when you're signing people up, you are signing them directly up through your telephone. You don't have a computer and you use your telephone, correct?
I use my telephone, and I don't even have the InTouch app. Now, sometimes I'm on a chimney and I'm working or something, and then I'll call customer service, and they help me real quick to do that. But I just do it on my phone.
There you go. And that phone, just having to be on your phone, to me, in my mind, Ron, gives you the freedom to do it, like you just said, up on the roof, wherever you want. You have your own business.
Well, and I try to answer the phone if I can see what's coming in. Like a couple of weeks ago, Michael Acuso, one of my SPDs in my group, big leader, he called me. He goes, wow. He goes, you answered the phone pretty quick. He goes, it sounds windy where you're at out in California. He's in Missouri. I said, yeah, I'm 40 feet up in the air sitting on a chimney. He goes, oh, my goodness, why did you answer the phone? I said, because you called.
Oh, my gosh. So, Jan, questions for Mr. Ron?
I would like to see if anybody on here has a question.
All right.
Oh, you know what, Ron? I want you to address something that we talked about when you talk about just how you just talk to regular people. You don't go after we hear the term big whales from,
Right.
big network
Yeah.
marketers. Address that a little bit.
Okay, so what I do, like I have some top leaders in my group that have been, big MLMers back in the day and stuff, and they always, want to go after the whales, they call them. I didn't know what they were talking about at first, but then I realized it was the people that, maybe had the best, greatest potential to make them the most money, I guess. So, but me, and I've dealt with a lot of them and stuff. They have me put me on the phone with them, and and nothing against them, but they all think they're entitled. It seems like they all want money, and they with this and that, and you know, and I just tell them, I say, look, you know, I really don't need you, but we want you, you know, documentation beats conversation. Let's see what you can do. You know, nobody gave me nothing. Company never gave me one extra sleeve. Company never gave me one extra dollar. What I did all by myself, trying to figure it out like all of you guys probably do. So what I want to do is I want to go after the little people, simple people like me. You know, I want to go after the chimney sweep. I want to go after the garbage man. I want to go after a single mother raising that child by herself. I want to go after the grandmother on Social Security making $500, because to me, it's more important. I get more blessed by seeing their lives change a little bit, you know, maybe putting another $300 or $400 a month in someone's pocket and helping their health a little bit. You know, it's about, you know, it's about the mission for me. It's not the commission. You know, if you focus on the mission, the commission will follow. Trust me, it will. So that's what I want to do. There's way more little people. I'm a little people, okay? So and I'm going to stay a little people. You know, I like being a little people. You know, so there.
Thank you. And I think that's the most important thing of all. It's, you know, most of us or a lot of us are little people. And I always think of myself that way. It's just me. I've never had a lot of credibility with a lot of people. But I felt the patch found me, and you just start sharing. It happens so organically. And that's the part about you, Ron, that I think I really love the most, that you're just about the regular people.
Well, I don't know any better, you know, being 67 my whole life. I started working when I was 12 years old, picking apricots and berries in a town called Patterson. And then I had enough money and I got a bicycle, a 10-speed bike, and I started, you know, at 15, I started pumping gas at a gas station, you know, so I always worked my whole life. I never drew unemployment, not that I'm against it. I just always found another job. And that's why I worked. I don't know any different. I'm a worker. You know, my dad, you know, was born in a depression, you know, was in World War II, was a prisoner of war for 2 years, you know, so we never had money, you know. Growing up as a kid, I didn't realize that we were poor, not broke, we were poor, but I didn't realize till later on when I started thinking about it. I'd go back to school in the fall, and all my friends, you know, had money. They'd have nice new Converse tennis shoes and nice pants. Well, I had the same pants I got out of school with in the spring, and they were like 3 inches shorter because I grew in the spring, you know. But what we did as a family, we had a lot of love. That's why I thought we were rich. We did a lot of stuff. We went camping, didn't cost nothing. You know, Dad and Mom took us, and then we went to Disneyland. So, you know, you don't have to have a happy life with your family and have money, because we didn't, you know, and we made it work. We loved each other. You know, love will, you know, conquer everything, you know, smother everything, whatever, you know. So, yeah, we just need to just love each other and help each other. Because if we don't, I'm telling you right now, if we don't band together as the little people, it's the little people that change the world, you know. Since it's July and stuff, back in, you know, 1776, and we got our freedom, it was the little people. It was all the people that were in, you know, the little townships, and the militias that started and stuff that gave their life, you know. Those are the ones that changed it, you know, and we're the same way. We want change in this country and in this world, in this life. It starts with us. It doesn't start with, you know, politicians that don't care about us and stuff. We have to make a difference. We have to make a stand. And don't, you know, I don't like when people say, oh, I don't want to get involved in that. Well, you don't have a choice. You are involved in it. You're born, okay? You're part of the world. You're a people, you know. So anyway, didn't mean to get off on all that stuff, but we have to stick together.
You know, Ron, I want to tell you, thank you very much for getting into all that stuff, because we need to hear more of that in our world today. And you are exactly right about that. And everything does. And I wrote a couple of things down here: love each other and help each other. And one of my newest things that I'm going to share with people is focus on the mission, and the commission will follow, because that's what it is. Our mission, I have that mission of just helping other people, because like you said, yeah, I prayed and prayed for God to give me a miracle that would just take some of the pain away. I wasn't asking for a new knee. I wasn't asking for the ability to walk without a cane. All that stuff came along the way. but I was asking God and was very faithful, and you hit all of that. And I thank you for sharing that with us so much. And Johnny has a question for you. Johnny, go ahead.
Hi, I'm actually new to Lifewave, and I'm so thankful for everyone sharing. This is my first MLM to be involved with, and wow, it's just amazing the love and the communities that I drop in on. And Ron, thank you so much. This has been so inspiring. And I actually was in Mount Shasta, 4th of July, and I see Mount Shasta out my window. So kudos to you for hiking that bad boy.
That was a bad boy. And you know the reason I hiked that? My mom and dad lived in Oregon, so I kept passing that thing. Now, I'm an avid backpacker. I like to hike, but I kept seeing that mountain. Someone said people hike it. So, but it took me three times to do it, to get to the top, because a couple of times there were bodies on the mountain that didn't make it. People die on that mountain. It's a dangerous mountain.
Yep, someone dies up there every year. Yeah, for
Yep.
people who don't know, you can Google it. It's a glacier. It's got snow on it year round. I'm at 800 feet elevation. I'm an hour away. It's 115 degrees here, but an hour away, you're at a 16,000 peak that has snow on it year round. It's pretty majestic to drive by. But
every time I did it, it was in the summer, and it was 10 degrees. It was 10 degrees sleeping at 11,000 feet.
Yeah. My question is, you said that you mostly use X39 as your sample patch on people versus Eon, which is the one that I've heard a lot from on calls that people find they get the most immediate results from. And so I'm curious.
That's all I use.
Awesome.
That's all I market. I mean, I wear Aeon patch, but I don't market it. I just use X39 because when X39 came on board in the summer of 2000, in January of 2019, I realized real quickly, studying it and stuff, that it did everything. It was all inclusive.
Yeah.
It did the pain, did the sleep, did the energy, stuff like that. But it did one thing that none of the other patches did. It activated dormant stem cells. So that's what excited me. And so by leading with that, I always end up getting people after a couple of months or whatever, and they're interested. Now they're adjusted, they're settled in, and now they're interested in other stuff. But the main reason is because I want people to get their own X39 story, their experience, because that's what helps us sell this. People can use my story, we could use yours maybe, or whoever, but there's nothing like your own testimony, right?
No, I agree. You know what? I love that you said that, because for me, it's pennies and dollars right now, because I have another business that I'm trying to sell. Literally, I have $1.5 million business of inventory of architectural salvage from all over the world. And I started on X39 6 weeks ago, and I said, okay, I am blowing out my other business. I do not care how much I make from that. I am wholesaling it because I want to do Lifewave for the rest of my life, because I can actually make a difference and bless another human being's life. And I'll tell you a quick story. When we were up at the parade at Mount Shasta, I had prayed about it in advance. My uncle, I'm namesaked after my uncle, who was a POW in Vietnam. And my father and my brother were both firefighters. And I prayed before we went, Lord, I'm taking a packet of Eon. Use me to bless someone's life today. And I'm going to cry. There was a firefighter there that had actually been engulfed by flames, and half of his body was burned. And I saw him, and I went straight over to where he was and his wife. And I introduced myself, and I asked him what happened. And he said, we were on a fire, and there was some fuel and it exploded. And he said, I literally became a human torch. I was on fire. And this was like 2 months after his burn. I said, I have these patches. I explained quickly. I said, would you be open to me putting one on you and see? So I gave it to his wife. She applied it to fresh skin that wasn't burned. And in 5 minutes, he started crying, because he said, I asked him, I said, what's happening? What are you feeling? And he said, my fingers throb. I am at risk of losing at least 3 fingers right now. And he says, my skin feels like it's going to implode 24/7 from the pressure and the burns. And he said, the pain is gone. And what I feel is this zinging, tingling sensation that's almost like a tickle in the tips of my finger. His wife starts crying. I start crying. People around us are looking. And I said, we have literally just witnessed a miracle. And he said, I don't know what this is. How can I get a hold of you? I gave him my entire packet of patches. And I said, this is my gift to you. If I never hear from you again, be blessed. And I'll be praying for you.
And that's what's such a blessing about this business that we're in. That's money. You couldn't give me enough money to hear a story like that, to change somebody's life like that. So, we're so blessed to be here and be able to share and help people. And so that's my goal. And that's what I want you guys to do also.
Yeah. Thank you for inspiring more of what you have been living. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right. Wow. That was a story for sure. Ron, I am grateful to you for coming on and talking and sharing with us today, because you have touched the 100 people's lives that we have been sharing this with, and so many more will jump on the replay because they can't be here on a Friday morning with us. But I'm just grateful that technically you're my grandpa in Lifewave, Ron. Okay.
Father time.
And excuse me, and I have to say, I did first hear about you at the convention, and that was where I got to meet in person our beautiful Kathy Rodriguez. And she would call me at 6 a.m. your time, 3 a.m. my time, because she would see me up on Twitter. We would chat, and she told me the story of you patching her. So thank you for patching Kathy, because that patch made a difference in all. Well, like you said, you have 125,000 people in your downline. I'm
gonna share something here that I don't share. Once I share it, everybody's gonna know it, but I think I need to share it. Is that little story about Kathy there? We've known each other for about 25 years. She was a realtor, and I'm qualified to do real estate inspections. So we're friends, and we see each other out in town and stuff, everything and stuff. So I knew she'd been in, network marketing before. I had a little office, across the street from hers, and I'd see her sometimes. I'd go to my office. I'd see her up in her window up there. It was like 2 stories up, and she'd wave and stuff. And so it was probably a couple of weeks after I had been introduced to X39 myself, and I had the product. I thought about her, but then I thought, no, I don't want to do that. For some reason, I didn't want to do that. Didn't want to bother her. And it just kept resonating on me. Well, I go to my office one day in the afternoon, and I never go there in the afternoon. I jump out of my chimney van, and I glanced up at the window, and there she was, and she waved. And all of a sudden, I had this overwhelming feeling to go in and get some patches in my office and go up there and give her, patch her. And I remember saying, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to bother her. And I kid you not, this is going to sound really weird, but I went in. It's like somebody was making me do something. I went in and got the patches and a sleeve of X39 and walked across the street. And but I didn't walk across the street. This is the strange part. Okay, it was like somebody picked me up and pushed me. It was almost like God was giving me a wedgie or something. I was literally, my back was bowed. I was being driven across the street to go up there, and I ran up the back stairs, went in real quick. I said, Kathy, I know you're real busy. I just want to say hi real quick. I just wanted to share this with you, X39. I want you to watch your short video. Can I put a patch on the back of your neck? And that's all I did, and I ran out. And then the rest was history. And and again, it's you don't know who knows who, right? My sponsor did not know, that a chimney sweep from Modesto, California would flip his leg in a matter of weeks and stuff and be a runaway leg and stuff. So you never know. That's why everybody you need to reach out to, I didn't know that Kathy knew a young lady named Onyx. So you never know. So that's why you want to reach out to everybody, because you don't know who they know, and you're going to be able to change, everybody's lives and stuff, right?
That's right. That's right. Well,
And
Jan,
I want to share one more thing real quick, that since I already shared that I never shared, I want to share one more thing that hardly anybody knows about what happened at the convention last year. I was a nervous wreck. I did not want to go up on that stage. I'm not a public speaker. The main thing I was concerned about was I was going to embarrass not only myself, but my team. And so I went ahead and, I'd been there a couple days before, and I was nervous. And the nice young lady, Melissa, that was back there coordinating and helping, was, hold on one second.
Looks like it's food. Just let you know. Thank you.
Thank you.
I didn't get it. Sorry. Gotta try one more time.
Sorry, you guys. I'm UPS guys here.
Last name?
Raybum. So anyway, so sorry about that. So I ended up backstage nervous, and I'm walking, and I remember Melissa hugged me and she said, "You can do this." I'm shaking like a leaf. My knuckles were white. And as I walked up the backstage, I heard my cue. Emily was calling my name. I'm thinking, "Oh boy, here I go." And as I got ready to step on the last step, I just said, "Jesus, take the wheel." You guys, something came over me. Well, that wasn't me out there. They told me to watch the monitor. I had 15 minutes. Well, 14 minutes came, 15 minutes came, 16 minutes came, 17 minutes came. And I wasn't nervous. I wasn't scared. But, I had some help that day. And I'm so glad that I did that because, like Lori had said, and she begged me to do it. I turned her down, of course, once. But when she said that my story would resonate with everybody, that's why I did it. I didn't do that for me. I didn't want to have that attention, but, it was able to, a lot of people can relate to, me, and because I'm them, right?
that's right. Absolutely. Wow. You are a magic person. And Jan, what do you have any last parting words?
I was there and I saw him. I got to meet him in Las Vegas, and then I've met him a couple of times. He's come to some events here in Orange County, and I remember him up on stage in Orlando last year. And he's just a phenomenal person. We love you, Ron, and I am so grateful that you took the time today to do this for us. It means a lot to me, and I'm sure everybody here is super grateful. And we look forward to seeing you here in Orange County in August.
I'll be there. I already got my flight and all that stuff. But the thing is that I think I went over my hour. I apologize, but you got me on an emotional subject when we start talking about all this, and and I have a lot of stuff I want to share with people. And so I just want to love everybody and help everybody. Thank you very much, everybody that's listening to this.
Thanks,
the people
Ron.
that will hear the recordings. Thank you very much.
Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Ron.
Ron, thank you so much. And we would be honored anytime that, if we can bring you back on here and have another chat in a couple of months with more people, even different people, to hear your message. We would love that. So thank you.
Well, you guys can just ask me anytime. It's, for 2 years, you guys have been trying to get me. Peter was trying to get me a year ago. So for some reason, you two girls were able to, do it. So here I am. So now I'm here. So if you want me, get me.
Amen.
Thank you, Ron. We love you.
Thank you. And thank
Love
you to
you too.
everybody. Thank you, everyone
Bye-bye.
that showed up today to listen to Ron, that's new to our call. Activate and Elevate every Friday right here. You never know what's going to happen with me and Jan. So thanks again, everybody. We love you all and have a blessed week.
Bye-bye,
Thank you.
everyone.